Hey, people can say what they want about the Suicide Squad Isekai, but like it or not, this is what peak Isekai actually looks like. You can start an episode off damn near with someone getting called a limp dick, and then you have Michael Jackson, aka Muzin, aka Clayface, at the sight of a dragon saying, "Oh yes, this is Isekai." I think I said it, I think it might have been in the first video I did for this show, but it's like, every isekai needs a character who's self-aware of the tropes, the plot points, the things that are expected in a show like this. But I think it makes it all the better when everyone else doesn't care. Like, this man literally is in his freshest suit, swaggered up beyond his wildest imaginations, being like, "Oh yes, isekai, it is here," and no one give a shit. Full live reactions over on Patreon if you want to see my full good thoughts at any of these Suicide Squad Isekai episodes. It's going to be over there exclusively. So this was a really fun episode. I think you could probably nitpick it the most production value wise. Now, mostly the dragon fight was fantastic, but you could definitely pick apart a lot. But I still think this episode flew by, looked very good overall, and it just honestly probably had the most fun out of any of the 5 episodes. Like, this actually had a similar charm to maybe like the second or third episode, but now that we're a little more situated with the characters, the banter, and like what's actually at stake and at play, seeing them for like what was it, the first 5 minutes or so, was like just before the opening played. I think the opening played around minute 4 or something. Just seeing them go from location to location, the giant mushroom, like, it feels like a pure-on isekai fantasy show with all the environments, and then you got goddamn Peacemaker standing there. Peacemaker is the one character that sticks out like a sore thumb, and I love it. All the other characters, I think you can make arguments, can kind of blend into an isekai fantasy element. I think it's Peacemaker's helmet. He just sticks out like a sore thumb, and I love it. But just seeing them go about stuff, you know, Harley Quinn calling this giant guy Beanstalk. Maybe that's his official name, but I have to imagine she just named him that because why not? The idea that, of course, Harley Quinn would be the type of character to go from a baseball bat to a frying pan that can change size. And oh, what's this? We're dealing with a fire-breathing dragon. We're going to use the frying pan. Instead of flipping an egg, we're flipping the fireball right back. Like, you can't tell me this doesn't not only feel like an isekai series, but it also feels like a Suicide Squad series. And like, the thing too is, you know, some of the people who really dislike this show try to say that, like, people are only defending it because they like Suicide Squad. Which is really weird, because I've seen more comments say, "I don't like Suicide Squad, but I'm kind of vibing with this," than people are like, "I'm a huge fan of the Suicide Squad comics or movies, and that's why I'm watching it." For me, I'm very indifferent to the Suicide Squad ensemble team, but I'm loving it here, absolutely, and it's because of how fun it is. I mean, just the whole idea that you can have characters who, you know, some of them, you know, it's not the first time we've had fantasy anime where there's guns meet mythological creatures, right? So, you know, Deadshot contemplating should he use his last bullet to save someone who's probably dead. He's still alive, it's worth it, and then it ricochets off. Yeah, that's cool and all, and it's a very good character moment, especially seen by how, you know, literally you wasted your last shot in hopes to try to save Shark, and then Shark ends up saving you as you're about to fall to your death. Great stuff, but the core idea of guns meets dragons, is that the freshest thing ever? No. But the combination of everything, watching Clayface use like that giant wall that got formed to stop them, it just, we have giant frying pans flipping fireballs back, Clayface making giant walls, the guns and everything like that. It's such a ridiculous idea, and the more I see, the more I think this idea works. Like I said in my first impressions when I made it a couple weeks back there, when I first heard of this name, the Suicide Squad Isekai, I was like, it's just so weird it might work. But there was a lot of pushback, because it's like, what the hell? And after the first few episodes, I thought to myself, damn, like, yeah, it does work. Episode 4, even more so, but I think it's episode 5 where the weirdness, the wackiness, and I think honestly that the comic bookness of this show actually has officially found its groove. You have the bluntness, you have the vulgar humor that you would expect from a group like the Suicide Squad, but it's the fact that you also have that legitimate isekai fantasy story. Nothing crazy, but I mean, like with most comics or isekai series to begin with, they're not usually the craziest stories. I mean, yeah, there's certain ones that steal the show, But in general, it's just usually fun heroes and villains doing some fun hero and villain shit. And like I said at the start of the video, I do think you can nitpick this episode the most visually. They're just in terms of general static shots, still shots, and even some of the frames and stuff in the middle of this fight with the big dragon, sure, but it doesn't look god-awful. And I've seen far worse. When it did, I think, dip, it didn't distract me to the point that I was like, oh god, like they really ruined it. You can definitely tell where in the episode they prioritized certain key animation frames, and I think they chose the correct ones. And in general, it's still just such a fun thing. Harley just casually busting out a gun after not thinking she had one this whole time to then switching to a frying pan. You know, King Shark saying, you're a limp dick, to apparently us adopting a baby. Like, the fact that Harley was the one character to say, hey, it's kind of messed up that you used a mother's baby as a hostage. It's kind of messed up, bro. Oh shit, I'm a mom now, and now she has a pet dragon. That's fantastic. And it's just like, the more you watch, the sillier it gets. And the ending of this episode was quite fun. I honestly thought they were going to go back and, you know, they were just going to party again like they did. I don't think anyone was left standing with whoever was waiting for them, so that should be a fun fight and episode. But we're halfway through. I'm still crossing my fingers this will be a surprise split core, or at least they'll confirm a second season, because I need more than 10 episodes, but I'm very happy with where we're at so far with the middle of the show. I really feel like it left me off wanting more than even some of the past episodes have done. Like, when I finished the first episode when all 3 dropped, I thought to myself I'd watch the first episode and do a video and kind of casually catch up when I could. And then I quickly binged 2 and 3. Leaving episode 4, if I had more episodes, I probably could have been like, you know, I can come back to this wherever. But episode 5, I don't know, like, I'm not sure if I'd say it's my overall favorite of the episodes, but it's tied. It's either number 2 or number 1. There is something about this episode that I feel like it struck the chord. It struck the perfect, okay, this is officially Isekai. Like, this really felt Isekai as much as it did Suicide Squad, and it's such a brilliant formula. And if this is a good indication of where the second half can go, we're in for a damn good second half of this season, I'm convinced. Let me know what you thought down below, though. Do you agree with me? Or, you know what? Have you been watching this thinking, hoping it's going to get better, and it's just not for you? Let me know what you're feeling down below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell, and like I mentioned, full live reactions over on Patreon. And hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we have Yu Yan, Sonali, Tanisha Brown, Hat Guy, Sage Narf, and we also have Andre Cannon. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and I hope for everyone's emotional sake you don't ever get called a limp dick by a buff shark. Have a good one.